Mrs. Gunjan Krishna, IAS, Industrial Commissioner, Government of Karnataka. Good afternoon, members. Welcome to our webinar today on stability and revival measures for industries in Karnataka, an interaction with Mrs. Gunjan Krishna, Industrial Commissioner. Madam, our association, the German Engineering Federation, VDMA, is the largest industrial association, not only in Germany, but in fact whole of Europe, representing 3,300 companies. The turnover of our members in Germany is around 232 billion euros. We started an office in Bangalore around 2 years ago, and we have around 120 German companies in the engineering and technology sector who are based in Karnataka. The unfolding of COVID-19 pandemic is a human crisis of historic scale and complexity. Along with an unprecedented human toll, COVID-19 has triggered a deep economic crisis. The global economic impact could be broader than any that we have seen since the Great Depression. The GDP growth in India is expected to shrink. In fact, as per the recent estimates, the GDP may also contract by 0.9% in this financial year. COVID impact has resulted in tighter credits and cash flow constraints. It is a question of survival for many. Karnataka, being the IT hub of India and home to the 4th largest technology cluster in the world, the gross state domestic product of Karnataka stood at around 226 billion US dollars in 2019-20. The GSDP of the state grew at a CAGR of around 13% between 2011 and 2019-20. The cumulative FDI inflows in the state between April to September were recorded at around USD 42 billion, the third highest in India after Maharashtra and New Delhi, and accounted for a share of 9% in India's cumulative FDI inflows. 251 investment intentions worth approximately USD 12 billion were filed in Karnataka during 2019. Karnataka has a vibrant automotive, agro, aerospace, textile and garment, biotech, heavy engineering industries. The state has sector-specific SEZs for key industries such as IT, biotechnology and engineering, food processing and aerospace. Karnataka has reported as many as 925 cases of COVID since the first case was reported in the city on March 9. With 31 deaths confirmed due to pandemic in the state, the fatality rate is recorded at around 3%, which is amongst one of the lowest. Meanwhile, the recovery rate in the state is almost 50%, with 433 patients recovering from infection so far. Ma'am, Karnataka also has about 6.6 lakh MSME units employing 53 lakh people, 60% of which are located in and around Bangalore. Now, despite these ease in lockdown norms, the micro, small and medium enterprises and small scale units are somewhat struggling to resume operations as Karnataka may run into shortage of workers. As per reports from some of the local associations, only 20 to 25% of the industrial units were operational in and around Karnataka after the first week of the lockdown. Ma'am, we also heard that the state government has been very proactive to the demand of the industry and is considering relaxing key labor laws to bail out the industry sector in wake of the lockdown forced by COVID. In fact, the Industries and Commerce Department has also pushed to defer the implementation of the new minimum wages notified under Minimum Wages Act. The new minimum wages was to come into effect from April 2020. We would now request you, ma'am, to address the endeavors taken by the state government, especially the Industry and Commerce Department, to tackle the COVID-19 situation And after your address, ma'am, we have compiled certain questions from our members. And we would then put up these questions to you, ma'am. So
Sure.
I would now request your address, ma'am. Yes.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Nath. I welcome you all from the German Engineering Association for today's webinar. In fact, we are meeting in very unprecedented times. The times we have not seen in our lifetimes. Actually, is the one of the kind event that we are witnessing now.
Right.
So the times are difficult, but the government is trying to gear up and actually redouble efforts to ensure that the people, especially industries, the running of them is as smooth as possible. As Mr. Nath has mentioned earlier, in fact, when the COVID epidemic started in India, and if you look at Bangalore and Karnataka, you would find all the risk factors associated in Karnataka, in Bangalore, because we have a very high expat population. We have the population that is going out because of the IT/BT and the other sectors that are present in Karnataka. That we had a lot of flow happening from outside of India. And which is why if you look at the data and the figures, you will find that in the beginning, we were in the top 3 and top 4 states when it comes to the number of people, suffering from COVID-19. And right now we are much, we have done well that we stand at 11th and 12th place, that we keep changing the places. So the main success, the reason for this has been, a very, very effective contact tracing program, the use of technology, and ensuring that we take very timely action. Under the leadership of our chief minister, in fact, the lockdown happened on 22nd, but on 21st itself, he had said that the lockdown to start. The idea was that to flatten the curve, to ensure that we have the whereabouts to ensure to take care of the situation which is taking place at that point of time. And as a result, we have the lower numbers. Now, you spoke about the numbers like yesterday's, that is 63 numbers that got added. But if you go into the details, you will find that most of these 90%, in fact 95% of these numbers are the people who are coming from Gujarat or Maharashtra into the states, because now we have opened the borders for the migrants and the others who have gone out. Government of Karnataka has taken this in approach that we make sure that anybody who's coming from high risk states would have to be compulsorily go for institutional quarantine. So that is a check we are taking into account. As far as the industry goes, I know, we all have faced hardship, and in fact, it really makes us feel very sad, when we had to give passes during the lockdown phase, because, so we in fact acted very fast and ensured that most of our essential industries are open for work, and the pass system was put into place. And whosoever, in fact, my office was coordinating a lot with the industries in this respect. And most of the industries which were in integrated steel, petroleum refinery, cement, of course, your pharmaceuticals and fertilizers, glass, all of them had started at that point of time. But having said that, a lot of problems that has been faced by the people, by the industry, because of the loss of productivity, the loss of the, so that considering that, the government of Karnataka also announced a package, and that package is mostly targeted at MSMEs. So this package is basically ensuring that the fixed charges that of electricity that have to be paid will be waived off for MSME, and for larger industrial, and for the large industries, they can be without any penalties. It would be deferred payment for 2 months. So that is something that has been announced by the Honorable Chief Minister. The total package is rupees 1610 crore relief package that has been announced. And today at 4 o'clock, Finance Minister, Government of India will also be announcing a package, and that we will try to work out. Yes. On top of it, the Government of Karnataka is now looking at, we had recently announced ease in land reforms and the labor reforms. And land reforms, as you know, in Karnataka, it becomes very difficult to buy a private land because of certain sections. So that easing has happened recently. You can buy, industry can buy land directly from the farmers without worrying much. So that we will give it to you, share it with you. Similarly, in the area of labor, we are working. There were a lot of amendments that have come in the labor acts, where we have allowed for night shifts for women, we have allowed for seasonal work, and now we are looking at getting more and more reforms done in these areas. So these are the two, this is the topics that we are working at. We are also looking at it is because, you know, the trend, what COVID-19 situation has told us is that whatever patterns and whatever was happening before, they've been accelerated during these time. And world has realized that, you know, that too much of a manufacturing supply chain has been concentrated in one region of the world. And now there's a focus that how we can, you know, diversify that supply chain. And Karnataka is already on the global supply chain. As you know, in machine tool engineering, we are the #1 in the country. In fact, we had Micro right in 1950 in India, the Bosch's company, sister. So we have had a very close association with the German manufacturing industries. And what we are looking at that how we can take opportunity, because every crisis brings opportunity along. So how we can work together. If there are any issues that the German industry may be facing, we would do our best to solve them. We would try to, you know, extend our full support in that regard. Having said that, we would also like to work with them to see that how we can get more and more, you know, supply chain to India, and particularly to Karnataka. Now for Karnataka, I need not, you know, all the people here know about Karnataka, so I need not tell much, but having that it is one of the, Rakesh has already talked about, you know, our GDP growth, and because we are growing at a rate higher than the government of India, India's we have to see how COVID will impact, and we'll be coming out with those figures as well. But, you know, many of the sectors of ours have been insulated also from the COVID-19. If you look at aerospace, that sector has actually, even now it's growing. If you look at IT, that has not really been impacted. If you look at, again, pharmaceutical, it's not really that. Automotive sector definitely may have been much impacted. So we would want to work closely with VDMA to work out a strategy that how we can work together, where the best of the world, both the worlds can come together, and to create Karnataka as one of the hub for the global supply chain. So I would not want to talk much. I would rather want to hear from you and understand what problems you are facing, so that we can act on that and build a common bridge on which we can really create a Indo-German, strong, world here in Karnataka.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. I think, first of all, compliments to the government for taking such proactive steps. And also, as you mentioned about the MSME package, in fact, that helps also to answer a few of the questions that members have sent. And then also you spoke about the land reform and the labor reforms. As you correctly said, ma'am, the machine tool industry, the precision tool industry, the German industry is well established in Karnataka. In fact, we have some of the very reputed German companies in the machine tool sector who are based in Karnataka since many years. And it is also our endeavor as VDMA to make Karnataka as an interesting hub. Just for your information, ma'am, VDMA has about 3,300 member companies in Germany and Europe. Out of that, we have only about 600 companies who are in India. So there is still a huge potential for the German companies to come to India, and that's what we are working on. And that would also be our aim, to try to get them as much as possible to Karnataka for their investment. Ma'am, with that, I would like to come to, if you allow me, I would like to, we've gathered some responses or questions from our members, and I would like to put these questions to you so that for your response.
Okay.
So the first question, ma'am, is in view of COVID-19, revival of the market seems to would take at least 6 to 8 months post this lockdown. Now, what are the changes government is doing in terms of labor law for existing industries first for in existing industries to revive, and as what you mentioned in your latter part of your address also, to attract new investment which might come to India post COVID-19.
Okay. So working on labor reforms. In fact, as I mentioned in my talk, is that we had started for women to work at night shift. We had allowed seasonal employment. We had also now, for the overtime, we had increased the time overtime, which they can do. But now what we have done is that that DA, that entire new wage act, which needs to be coming to, because every year you have these increases in the wages that come into operational. So that has been put on hold.
Yes.
So that is one.
Hold, yes.
Is that we are now looking at, say for example, instead of paying overtime, people can correspondingly, they can pay a little more based on their salary or wages, and work more number of in a week. So that way, that is also being looked at. We are also looking at how, that entire mechanism that they above 100, if you have, so there are various returns that need to be filed, and there are various kind of where the labor inspector, and there are various forms and registers that need to be maintained. So we are looking at that, how we can ensure that that entire system gets streamlined, and it does not become where, a kind of an inspector Raj. Instead of it, it's a facilitating thing. So we would try to own as much of a labor laws in order to make it in sync with time. That is ongoing. When it comes to the new investments, so I think within when it comes to labor laws, within a month or so, you will hear a lot from Karnataka. When it comes to the reports. Okay. New investment, again, we have created a dedicated task force in Karnataka for wooing new investors. We are also going to come out with, again, an investment package kind of a thing, where we can tell you that these are the things that we would be giving to the new investments who are coming into Karnataka. Also, we will be majorly working on ease of doing business. There is one of the, we are contemplating that we can totally ease the entire permission that can be taken by a new industry to be set up. So we are working on that. That would again be announced soon. We have, in fact, Mr. Nandan Nilekani and Kiran Majumdar who are helping us in this effort as well.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. I think that answers also the question, because we had received quite a few questions which were talking about waiver of support towards electricity charges. So what I could understand from you is that that would be waived off.
Fixed electricity charges for MSME have been waived for 2 months, and for the large industry, it has been deferred without any penalty.
Okay. Then there was also the question, ma'am, about like most districts are imposing quarantine for any inter-district travel of industrial employees, even from green zone to orange or red. How long is this likely to continue? Then this company says that most of our workers would like to visit their home district once in a month to once in 3 months to take care of their parents, family, etc. Now, if they are quarantined each time for 14 and 14 days, they would hardly be able to attend any work. And this may in turn lead to workers deserting their profession and sticking to their home rather than coming to the factory.
I totally understand, the inconvenience that is caused by the quarantine. When it comes to the inter-district movement, we can look at easing it. Consider if a person is coming from a green district. But when it comes to red district or anybody coming from outside the state, we would not be able to do much, especially at this time, because the numbers, if you see, if the rate of growth may not be very high, but the absolute numbers are increasing, and the absolute number, if they are increasing, we have to take care. And as I told you before, as I mentioned before, 99% of the people are those now which are showing positive, like 63. 3 or 4 were the ones, you know, who were the contacts from here. Otherwise, all who had come from Maharashtra, Gujarat were, you know, they were tested positive. So I totally agree. There is an inconvenience, but we are living in very difficult times as well, where we are all working for the, you know, for the general good only. Because
Right.
if they are institutionally quarantined, then they are preventing your industries also to, you know, otherwise, if they are found to be there and 10 more people get infected, then the industry, that particular manufacturing unit will close. Isn't it better that
Right.
they get quarantined outside and then they come in, and then the risk to your factory being closed is reduced?
Right.
But having
So,
said that, I will definitely look at inter-district movement and inter-district quarantine.
right, right. Because, but I guess for some time the companies would have to bear with this
Bear
issue
with it,
until
because this is
things maybe
yes,
normalize for.
the necessary evil
Yes,
right now. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. Ma'am, then this company has asked that clarity on payment and compensation of salaries to be paid during lockdown period, also for the workforce. Actually, at the moment, you're allowing 33% of the workforce. So, what happens to the payment of the workforce who are not part of that 33%? The company would still have to continue to pay the remaining workforce, although they are not working at this stage. Or even if they do rotation of the workforce, effectively only 50% will be actually working, but they would have to pay for the 100%. So, is
So
there
I would
any? Yeah.
Yeah, please. So I would like to clarify one thing, that 33% limit was only for the official, for the offices. It is only for the offices, the private offices that have been set up for only for that. For manufacturing, 33% is not the limit. So this is a clarity people have. If they want more number
Okay.
of people working, they can very well work. Nobody is stopping them.
Right.
Yeah, with the, you have to follow the SOPs. So that
Right.
SOPs, government has issued SOPs with the social distancing, use of masks, sanitizers, and ensuring, you know, that
Right.
the temperatures are being taken. And if you're following all of this you can very well go up for 33%. There is no bar on that. So I think that is it is just a myth, because it came only for the offices, not for manufacturing.
Right.
So that's one
Right.
clarification there. Second, when it comes to the payment of salary, I think we will talk to the Labor Department. I do not think so they have issued any guidelines regarding that.
Okay. Okay. But
Yeah.
there are these guidelines regularly. I think even the government has been appealing
So
to the
government has been
employers to.
appealing. We have been telling you that as far as possible, pay your people.
Right. Right. So it is more
Right.
like
It's a
more like a
direction.
guideline or a appeal. Right. It's a direction rather than any legal binding. Yeah.
Yeah, but then of course, you know, it would be better for your own employees also that you pay and keep them. That
Right.
way they will remain within your this thing.
With the organization. Yes, that's right. That's right. Now, ma'am, regarding the electricity waiver, the question has come, is the electricity charge waiver or deferment also applicable for solar power, which is supplied by the by government approved vendors?
No,
So,
this is electricity. It's not electricity charges. This is a monthly fixed charges. The department takes the fixed charges irrespective of your actual consumption.
right. These are the fixed charges. What would be like meter rent and things
Yeah,
like
so
that, which
that
would be
has been waived off for 2 months
okay.
for MS.
Yeah. Then the company has asked also the license renewal process should be completely online with self-declaration. Is that
I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. We are trying to work out a mechanism where all the licenses and all the fees that you need to pay for that would be online, so that ease of doing business process is ongoing. At the same time, we are also in this package, we have looked at deferment of all the licenses. If your license is expiring, say, so that can
Right.
be for extended for a period of 2 or 3 months.
Okay. Okay. So this
And
deferment is there.
yes, and for new industries, we are also looking at that you can come and set up for 3 years. You don't have to take any licenses and all. As in, you have to take it before operational.
Right.
You should have licenses in place, but till for construction and all, you really don't require. So we are going to soon bring out amendment also, and that's an amendment to our Facilitation Act.
Right. Then they've also asked whether the DA hike, DNS allowance hike for private organizations, like since in April there was no work done, and also May to quite some 15 days there was no work done. Can this be withdrawn?
No, I think DA hike was not pressed upon.
Was not okay.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
no. Yeah, in fact, even for all government servants also, the DA has been postponed, deferred.
Postponed. Okay. 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 Then, ma'am, this is regarding the aerospace park. One company from which is based in the aerospace park. They had a couple of questions. Need
Yeah.
to support industry by increasing the spread, the overtime. With that, output will be increased, and also providing transport facility to industrial areas. Now, especially in aerospace park, what they are saying is that all employees do not have their own vehicle, and still public transport is not covered in that area at all. So is there any endeavor to provide transport from the government side for which maybe the private companies could utilize to transfer their employees?
Okay, so one is aerospace again was one of the companies, one of the group of companies that we allowed to operate even during the lockdown, even during complete lockdown. Government of Karnataka was one of the very few states apart from Tamil Nadu who had come out with a special geo allowing for aerospace industry to function during lockdown. Point number one. Point number two is like all these people, because public transport, I do not know what may happen after 18th or after 16th.
Right.
As of now, you can hire BMTC buses.
Okay.
And you can use it for commuting your employees to the workplace.
Okay, so the companies could hire the buses
Yes.
for commuting the employees then.
Helping your employees to commute.
Yes. That. Okay, so that could be for people who don't have their own vehicles. That could be one possibility that the companies can undertake then.
Yes.
Right.
So BMTC actually, if you want, they can get in touch with us and we can help them to connect with BMTC.
BMTC, right. Now again from this company in aerospace park, ma'am, they have asked us need to provide relaxation on land tax, property tax in industrial area, aerospace park. Land tax as per earlier rules, we need to pay to village panchayat who are demanding high rate of tax.
Okay. Okay. We'll take these as your demand and put it up. When it comes
If
to
that could be considered.
Yes, we will look at it.
Yeah.
Then.
Maybe I can separately send you a mail giving the details of the company also.
If you can email me
Yes.
these demands, then we can really look at them.
Yes. Right. And then they are also asking our employees stuck in the districts of Karnataka or nearby states. They are finding it difficult to get passed to return and to report of work, although we have started the operations.
So I have a special cell here. You need to get in touch with the joint director of your area.
Okay.
And he will help you in getting these employees. We also have a managing director of VTPC who's helping in movement of people if they are for the industry purposes. So we will facilitate.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Then the government should support industry by absorbing the PF ESI component of all employees or exempt industry to deposit in defined period of 4 to 6 months, as industry is finding it difficult to pay salary without working. There is a threat of, in fact, they are also facing threat of order cancellation, or the customer is in fact delaying in lifting of the machinery.
Yes, so this demand has been raised by many industry people, and in fact, what we have done is that we have forwarded this demand to Government of India when it comes to it, and hopefully something will come out of it. Today, Finance Minister would be addressing at 4 p.m.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see what
See,
from the scheme, from the
yeah,
from
because see,
these
the Government of India, it's within the domain of Government of India, this aspect.
of India. Okay, okay, fine. Then, ma'am, this is regarding, although not related to COVID, but one of our member companies now, they are operating in this area near Tumkur, Anthrasanna Halli industrial area. So what they are saying is the roads actually, there is the within this industrial area, the roads are not there and they are facing major issues. And although this point has been raised, but no work on the roads have started as yet. And similarly, also water connection. In fact, they say they have paid all the dues for water connection, but they have still not got the water connection. And they are also been following up with the DOKI ADB, but water connection they have not got as yet.
So I have noted your,
I can.
Yeah, and if you
We'll
can
send the
forward
details of the company also to you. Yes,
we will take
sure.
it up. Yes.
Sure. Right. So this company also has an office. They have a unit also in Peenya, ma'am. So what they're asking was there was a discussion of a skyway at Peenya metro station, from the metro station to the industrial area, because otherwise crossing that road is a safety issue. So is there any thought of the government to construct this skyway?
Not that I'm aware of, but these
Okay.
infrastructure projects take their own time. So I cannot promise on this count that we will definitely have a skyway, but I can find out within the local planning of Bangalore city whether a skyway is proposed in that particular area.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, then another company which is quite well established already in Bangalore. Now, because of the COVID situation, they are seeing the possibility that maybe there is a possibility that their head office may ask them to expand the operation. In fact, it's a positive move they are looking at. So they are asking, will there be new land parcels identified within the parameters of Bangalore Urban by KIADB for facilitating investments towards new manufacturing establishments?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, we have land in the Dabaspet area, we have land near the airport area, we have in Chikbalapur, we have in Mastanhalli, we have land in Tumkur. In fact, we have a dedicated machine tool park in Tumkuru. So
Right.
available there. So, and Bidadi, we are coming out. In fact, CM had a meeting recently where he's actually looking at 9,000 acres of land to be developed for industry, and out of which we in fact have 100 acres of land is in the final stages of acquisition.
Okay. So best we could inform the company to get in touch with you, ma'am, so that they can discuss further how to.
Touch with them, and we will handhold.
Perfect. In fact, their second question was also now with to attract MNCs to invest, as you also mentioned, ma'am, about making Karnataka attractive for investments. So are there any special measures or schemes, incentive schemes that the state government may be thinking about to attract, post-COVID, to attract foreign companies coming to Karnataka?
So as I mentioned that we have already formed a task force in which
Right.
ACL Finance is a member, and
Okay.
would be actually submitting from our side a wish list, which we want to, a package that we want to give to anybody who's coming from during after this, during this COVID time, whosoever is looking
Right.
at diversifying their supply chain. I cannot, apart from that, we do have existing schemes where we have incentives, we have dedicated policies. So if aerospace you're looking at, we have an aerospace policy, and aerospace policy has its own sets of incentives that can be taken from that policy. We have biotechnology policy, we have IT policy, we have policies for the electric vehicles. We have a policy now for battery manufacturers, and for electric vehicle manufacturer, we have a policy. So we have these, many policy driven approach that we follow, wherein we have these special incentives laid out in this. We have also, say, for example, for ESDM sector, we have actually recognized certain clusters also where we'll give them special. Government of India has got a very good scheme now, two of the schemes, when it comes to
Okay.
electronics. So for every sector, there would be different set of things. And depending on which sector they are looking at coming into, we can work it out. Also, we are looking at major way ease of doing business.
Right. So if these could be shared with us, ma'am, we can circulate it to our members. I think if either
Sure.
if there is a soft copy available, or if there's a link, if it is shared with
So
us,
this,
or if any
yeah,
hard copy is there, yeah, at least one or two hard copies you could send to our office. We can keep it
yeah,
at our office also. Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, again to the land, there is a question, ma'am. They are asking what is the process the industries need to follow for. In fact, you also mentioned about this land, land reform, that now the industry can directly buy land from farmers. Now, what they've asked is what would be the information available regarding the going rate and registration charges per acre and things like that. Further
That you get a
information.
guidance
And
value. Yeah, so this is nothing but a guidance value, and from the IGR office, the Director General of Registration, from his office, in any particular area, you find out the guidance value,
Available online.
and it's available online.
okay,
IGR,
okay,
which is called Kaveri,
Kaveri. Okay,
Stamps and Registration. You can get these data.
okay. So this is in sort of in public domain.
It's
This
public domain.
information. Right, right. Now, this is a very interesting question, ma'am. They've asked the government should subsidize the investment in digital manufacturing to motivate companies to migrate to digital transformation, which is perhaps now gains more significance after the pandemic. What is your take on this? I think this is
In fact, we are working on this. We are coming out with a center for smart manufacturing. And in fact, we are going to invite some of the best, say Bosch, we want to partner with Bosch, we want to partner with the Tatu and certain other CMTI to work out a mechanism that how we can ensure that the maximum help is given to the MSME, because they are the ones who find it very difficult to use the smart process, the digital manufacturing, as you say it. So how to ensure that, their existing machinery can be made smart? That is one way, because you're investing de novo and buying new thing is very, very difficult. So we are working in this entire mechanism, and we'll be very happy to collaborate with VDMA on it.
Perfect. Thank you. Then this question is, ma'am, if labor intensive industries like garments, for example, the garment industry, now if the company is willing to relocate to some other part in Karnataka from Bangalore, would there be some incentives or compensation from the government side?
We can work it out. You come, I can approach us and let's have a discussion. And we had come out with the new textile policy also. They can have a look at the new textile policy and see what kind of incentive structure is there in that particular. Other than that, we have provided a good incentive package for Ballari.
Right. Okay. For Ballari in particular. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Then, ma'am, there was this question. The company is asking that now, let's say they have restarted the work in their plants. Now, would the government authority, if in case any employee is found COVID positive in the coming weeks or months after the factory has started operation, would the factory be sealed again, and will the government authorities take any action against this company?
So we are going to actually on this, we have to work in sync with the health department. As an industry,
Okay.
my view is that if one particular person has been found to be COVID positive, we should isolate and test people around that person and create a mechanism for testing and isolation and quarantine. And then once you disinfect the whole place, and you can start working again.
They can start, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but that is something that we need to get on, paper along with the health department
Right.
and issue GO. Such GO is
Yes,
there.
yes.
But Government of India has also now made it very clear.
Right, right. So I think it is not that the company would be, as you said, they have to undergo the process, but I think then maybe in a few days they could restart their operations
And
because
also, if you can create a kind of, say, you ensure that people from one section do not mingle so much with the other section. It
yes,
is good, because if you can isolate each sections and they have different times for lunch and all of that, then you can say that you minimal effect happens to your operation.
right, right. And also, ma'am, among the German companies, in fact, just for your information, they have very strict guidelines, SOPs coming from their head office also, which are much stricter than also the government guidelines. So most of the companies are very strictly following the guidelines, and especially the head office is very particular that these guidelines should be adopted and followed by the respective companies.
But then
also.
my advice would be anybody who has, if any person from industry, which are part of your, who have been tested positive, please get in touch with us, industry department,
Okay,
with my office. So during that time, we can really help you.
right. Uh,
Yeah.
And then there is also the question from companies who have larger manufacturing units. Now, they are saying that because of the movement of the migratory labor, now actually the issue of who have left now those people cannot basically at the moment come back to the workforce.
Yes, so that is an issue, and we have to grapple with it for some time. If
Right.
they are willing to come, then we can facilitate that. But
Okay.
having said that, where most of them have left only recently, it would be difficult for them to come back so soon. But
Right.
if people are willing, we will facilitate it.
Right, right. Because I think there was also a news article which was saying that Karnataka industries would face difficulty in the labor because of the lack of because of the migrant laborers have left. So there is a sort of a labor shortage prevailing in the industry presently.
That is there, but then we have some of our people who have gone out and worked. They have also
Right,
come back. So we can look at Gulbarga, we can look at Vijaypura for workers if you are looking at unskilled workers.
right, right, right. Okay, so workers from these areas could be basically
Because these are the
brought in.
people who have, say, returned from Maharashtra, from other places, Goa,
Right.
Maharashtra. We are also getting people from outside states to our own state who have migrated and working in different states.
Different states. Right, right. Uh, Then one of the questions is, ma'am, actually this company based in Bangalore, but they have a customer in Mysore. Now the customer has urgent requirement of service engineers to travel to Mysore. So that they are raising is that
That please get in touch with the Mysuru JD and get in touch with us, MD BTPC. I think MD can
yes,
coordinate with it. Please, you tell us who are these people, how, and we will organize it.
Okay, so there is a possibility that they can get the approval
There is a
to
full
travel.
possibility. Except that it should not be in the containment zone where they are going.
Going, right. Then the company is asking, can we dispatch heavy equipment interstate? Like if they have to dispatch certain orders
can.
to the state of Maharashtra
There
or
is no
to get parts from.
There is
Yes.
no bar of movement of goods.
Okay, okay. So
If you are
getting inwards also from.
anywhere, from anywhere to anywhere in India, there is no bar on movement of goods. If your counterpart to take your machinery, you can send it.
Send it, right. Yeah, ma'am, I think with that we have more or less covered most of the important questions. There are others which are more of repetitive nature and you have already clarified most of the points, ma'am. So I think on behalf of all our members as well as the Indo-German community in Karnataka, we would like to thank you for sparing your time to be with us today. I think you had your office had said that you have another meeting and we should try to finish it so by 3:50. So I think we are dot on time to enable you. So, but thank you very much for this interaction, and we wish we would certainly send you the few open points of where you wanted the details. We'll send you, and on behalf of VDMA, we would like to thank you and congratulate you, your department, as well as the Honorable Chief Minister for all the endeavors that are being taken and for the proactive role I think that the government of Karnataka and your department is playing to facilitate and help the industry. And we wish you all the very best in the endeavor and in the future. And together, I'm sure we will get over this difficult COVID period and maybe move back to the what we call Swarna Karnataka maybe by 21 or 22.
No, I
Yeah.
totally agree. I also thank you for for this wonderful session that we have had, and I look forward to closer ties with Germany and
Sure.
special to German Engineering Association. And I
Right.
also want to like to thank all the German diaspora in Karnataka for their immense contribution to building Karnataka also. And I hope this partnership that we have forged continues, and we would see many more German companies coming in and investing in Karnataka. With that note, and
Thank
I
you, ma'am.
want all of you to be safe, and do keep us in loop with whatever problem. We are here to only solve problem and lend a helping hand. So thank you so
Sure.
much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Yeah. Have a nice evening. Bye.
Yeah.